If we speak about the motion cam, as I said before, it was based on our motion protect detector. So all the characteristics that is uh, goes in. So the motion cam make good photos not only in daytime but in nighttime too. The distance between the range between the detector and the hub is the same like in motion protect. It's up to 100 700 meters, but it is in an open space. Due to the live battery saving technology and the process inside the detector and two batteries, uh, the detector can work up to 4 years without on the pre-installed batteries. If we speak about the issue of privacy of the end user, we created this detector in the way that it will do the photo only in case when the whole system is armed, and only when the motion cam triggers the alarm. It will make a photo on the triggering. We will we we don't give the ability to monitoring station or to any users to make a photo from this device on a request, and it can't do the photo when the other detector triggers the alarm. So it fully closed, and as I said, it will make photo only when it's in the arm mode. After the detector may trigger alarm, he makes a series of photo and sending this photo to our application. As you see from the slide, I guess you already know, we have three types of application. It's Ajax security system, which is usually used for end user, and we have two applications for engineers and installers, which is Ajax Pro and Ajax Pro Desktop. These all applications are free to download, and it supports as Android and iOS also. Ajax Pro Desktop can be downloaded from our website, from the support section. And also we already prepared the integration with such monitoring software as Monitor and SBN. It is already integrated, and this monitoring soft started receiving the photo from the motion cam directly into it. At the moment, all our team of developers and programmers are working with different monitoring station from our manufacturers, and we are working on the integration, so as more many monitoring companies can receive the photo from our device. If we speak about the technical parameters of motion cam, as I said, the motion detection range is the same as motion protect, is up to 12 meters. ER lightning is working up to 15 meters. The detector has 3 levels of sensitivity and has pet immunity by default. If we speak about the camera, it has 3 settings of resolution, and depending on the resolution you will choose, the detector will make a different series of photos. So on the maximum resolution, the motion cam will do only up to 5 photo on one alarm, then it will combine it to GIF file and will send to end user. If you choose low resolution or medium, you can, the setting allowed you to make to configure the detector to make up to 5 photo on one triggering. Also, in the configuration, You can set the parameters of amount of alarm for which the motion cam will make photos. The maximum uh, number is 10, so for the first 10 alarms the detector will trigger, he will send the photo. After that, the motion cam will start to make photo again only after disarming and again arm the system. As I said, the distance on the open space is up to 1,700 meters. It has two pre-installed batteries inside, and on these batteries, it can work up to 4 years without changing. It is this detector. It is used for indoor installation. Now we are going to the next big part of this release, and it is a real big step into home automation scenarios. Before this release, we already have three devices that can be used for automation. It is wall switch, relay, and socket. And based on these devices, we created scenarios that we will speak about. If we speak about wall switch and socket, it is the same devices which work with the high voltage, and relay is working with low current. If we speak about the how can we control, create scenarios, for that we can use the button. The button itself, by default, the button can be used in two variants. The first variant is you can use it as a panic button. So when you push the button, the panic alarm will be transmitted to the monitoring station and application at the same time. The other way to use it for automation. So you can start some scenarios by pushing the button. All the scenarios can be controlled and created in our application, and also you have ability to make scenarios that will be that will be pre-configured and will can be done by the schedule. If we speak about the type of scenarios, we have three types. The first type is before I will explain about the type of scenarios, I will say that before the release, we already have the one type. It was based on the changing of the status of the system, so you can activate a wall switch or relay by arming or disarming the system. In new release, we added reaction of these devices onto alarm, and not we go not only with all alarms, we divided alarms into type depending of the protections they provide. So you can create scenarios on intrusion alarm, you can create scenarios on fire alarm and flood alarm. Also, if you are using combined detectors such like Door Protect Plus, this detector has three sensors inside. It's open door contact, it has tilt contact and shock sensor. So you can create scenarios only on one of these sensors. It is what the scenarios that can be activated by the alarm. The second type of scenarios is schedule actions. So you can create scenarios that will automatically start by the schedule. We have two types of schedule. The first type is schedule of the hub. For example, you can create scenarios on arming disarming system by the schedule, for example, in night mode. In my case, I have two daughters, and I'm expecting that after 11 p.m., no, I'm not expecting anyone to come to our house. So I create scenarios on the night mode, and my system arm at 11 p.m. and disarm at automatically and 6 a.m. in the morning. And also, you can create scenarios for each device. I mean, for relay or wall switch, for example, this device will be activated or deactivated by the schedule which is created specifically for this device. And as I said, this third type of scenarios are based on changing the status of the system. So when you arm the system, the device, the wall switch can cut off all electricity in your house, or you can disarm some electric devices in your house. If we speak about the amount of scenarios that are supported by our main panels, Hub support up to 5 scenarios, Hub 2 support up to 32 scenarios, and Hub Plus up to 64 scenarios. But I should mention that if we go back to the previous slide, the third type is scenarios by the changing of the status of the system. So these scenarios are not going into account with the total amount of scenarios. For example, for the hub, if you can create 5 scenarios for the alarm, and you will have additionally 2 scenarios on changing the status or for arming and disarming the system. The same will be for hub 2 and hub plus. And now I will show you some variant of implementation of the scenarios. As we speak before, the night mode, if you know that all your family comes home uh, before uh, 10 p.m. and you know that you are not expecting as anyone, as I give you example with my daughters, you can create scenarios on the night mode, and the system will automatically arm all the perimeter detectors and will disarm by the shadow in the morning when you do it. Another variant of implementation, I like it the best because when we speak about the security system, we always think about the intrusion. Scenarios with relay and leak protect, you can add electro water valve to your system, and with the help of automated scenarios, you can close, you can activate the water valve and close the water if the leak protect will detect the water on the floor inside your house, so it will protect you from the flooding. The another type of implementation, you can use build scenarios on automatic activation the electronic lock. This type of scenarios will be very useful for small shops and maybe some small commercial properties. It is also can be very useful for end user who has his own home. So you can create scenarios on the changing of the status of the object. And for example, at the moment when you arm the system, automatically all doors will be locked and the roller shutter will close all your windows. Another good type of implementation, if you have motion protect outdoor, you can create scenarios for activating outdoor lighting. So when in the case that motion protect outdoor will detect some movement outside in your garden, automatically the light will turn on. I should mention one thing, that all our scenarios will work on the triggering of the alarm, and when the detector will restore, it will not turn the manually, or you can create the scenarios on the change in the status, for example, on disarming the system, so the light will turn on when the detector will detect any movement on you. It's a simulation of activities that is also can be very useful for end user which have the house. For example, if they leave the house for a week and no one can look after the house, they can create different type of scenarios, and the light inside the house or audio system can be activated automatically in different periods of times. So for the person who's uh, looking at the house, he will think that someone is present inside and there is some movement and some activity inside the house. It will also can be a part of protection of the facility. The another type of scenarios, implementation of the scenarios, if it is very useful for life protection of people. You can create scenarios based on fire protect, and with help of wall switch, you can cut off all the electricity inside the house, preventing the uh, shortcut of the wire, so you will prevent from new points of fire inside your house. And the one more variant of implementation, in it is heating of the heating water. I use these scenarios for myself. Everyone goes to bed before the midnight, so I create scenarios to turn off my boiler at it is a different type of scenarios, and you should understand that with all imagination you can build different types of scenarios that you would like to. I saw one of my colleagues show me the video where uh, it was he created scenarios with help of relay for opening the gates of the premises and opening the garage. So you can create different types, and this short video I will show you the way how to create it. Is pretty fast, but as I said before, we start the webinar, we will have additional webinars on which we will more deeply discuss all the type of scenarios and the way you can create the scenarios and how to control and use your system. Oh, good. For the hub, the schedule, uh, based on the schedule of arming disarming, these scenarios are you have a special section in the hub setting where you can create the scenarios for the hub. If you create the scenarios exactly for particular device, such as relay, you should go to the settings of this relay, and there you will find you will find the setting to create scenario, and after that you will see the option which scenario uh, you would like to create, what it will be based on, the alarm, the schedule, or the change of the status. And after that you uh, select all the devices that will take part in that scenarios. Also, as we you can create scenarios, for example, for the alarm, not only for the alarm of one detector. You can choose if you have 10, 15 detectors in your system, you can create scenarios that something will activate only after three detector will trigger in the some period of time. So it is very easy to create different type of scenarios. It is I forget the word. Okay, it is very easy for you for user to understand the way how to create these scenarios. And as I said before, we will have additional webinar where on the examples on the real object with the real devices, we will show you how to create it and how it will work in different situations. And we slowly, or maybe first, go to the last part of the release. It was multi-regs. It is functionalities that allows you to build a security system for really large object. As you can see, all the hubs support big amount of the devices that can be connected to them. The hub and hub 2 support up to 100 devices, and hub plus supports up to 150 devices. So with this amount of the detectors, we can really close and build the security system for really big object. But depending on the structure of the materials that the building is built of, you may face the problem of the uh, strength of the radio signal. For that, we created Regs. Regs, it is intelligent radio radio signal range extender. It is intelligent because it is not working just like the same devices from our manufacturer. Rex not only receive and transmit the signal, all the moment at the every moment of working, Rex has a copy of the settings of the hub. For example, if you added 5 detectors to the Rex and you add uh, the siren to the Rex, and on any circumstances Rex lose connection with the hub, Rex start to work like a hub standalone. And if one of these detector will trigger the alarm, the Rex will give the command to the siren for activation. So it's not only receiving and transmitting, it takes functionality of the hub in the case when it loses connection with the hub. And it has his memory, and when the connection will be restored, all the information will be transmitted to the hub and then will be transmitted to monitoring station and the end user. Uh, for connection, the Regs work on the same radio protocol Javeler, and it has built-in side battery which provide up to 35 hours to work without the external power. And some slide about how you can make the installation of the Regs. For example, you have a big facility, and first you check the strength of the radio signal with the detector, and when you find the place where the level is good, at this place you can mount the Regs, and it will double the distance to the device. And the part of the uh, multi-release was multi-regs, and with this functionality we add the options that the hub 2 and hub plus can connect up to 5 Regs. But what should I mention? And as you see the same from the slide, all the Rexes should be connected directly to the hub. You cannot build connect Rex to Rex like in one big line. All of them should be connected directly to the hub. And one more thing that I should mention, that if we speak about the motion CAM and that we should make the hardware changes in the hub to support protocol wings, Regs do not support motion CAM. So if you build your system with hub 2 and 5 Rexes, all motion CAM should be connected directly to hub 2. And if we speaking about how much Regs can you add, as I said before, the hub support 1 Regs, and hub plus and hub 2 support up to 5 Regs. And I should mention that when you add the Regs to the system, it takes one slot of the device. For example, on the example with hub support up to connection up to 100 devices, and if you add the Regs to the system, you still have 99 slots for connect 99 devices to the system. Well, it was the all information that I would like to share you about the multi-release, and I would like to say that the multi-release 2019 opened the next chapter in the history of our company. We make the first step into visual alarm verification. We made a first big step into home automation, and we make a large scale protection. We continue to innovate and to go beyond security. We work on the new devices, we work on the new functionality, as you can see from the history of our company, every release it is a start platform for the future releases. So this big release is the start point for us for the future update for new devices and new functionality of the hub. And as I would like also to say, one of the good parts, one of the good things about our systems that it is fully wireless, as you know, and it update remotely. So, for example, if you will buy the Hub 2 or Hub Plus today, and something new, some new devices will be released in 1 year, you will not need to buy additional model. The Hub will automatically update its firmware and will support the new devices and new functionality. And as I said, it is all that I would like to share about in amount of this presentation. And I would like, I understand that the situation today around the world is it's hard with lockdown and the quarantine, and we would like to help you with your installation, with your business, and we have one proposal. I have one slide that I will try to explain, and I will be very grateful if you will give us the feedback about this information. I understand that this information can be useful in one territory and will not be useful in the other territory, but it will be very good if you give us feedback how are you working in this situation and in which way we can help you. So the slide is called Installing Ajax at the Quarantine Time, and what we are represent to you uh, based on our system and how it works. We You can speak to all your leads. Uh, we understand that everybody is staying at home right now, and you don't have much ability to visit your client to speak with him and spend some time. So you can call all your clients and who is interested in a security system, all your leads, and you can speak with them what they are expecting from the security system. You can speak the about their promises, what they need by phone call or maybe by Skype or Zoom. As a result of this conversation, you will have the ability to create the system. And as our system is wireless and uh, for setting and make configuration of the system, you do not need the special software or special cables. Everything can be done through the mobile application. You can prepare the full system at your site. You can add all devices. You can make some settings of the devices by default, and then you have two options. You can, in one way, you can send the Skype call or Zoom. You can explain to which place they should install the device. You can put this two-back tape, prepare the device, put a two-back tape on all the devices. So all the user will need is only to put the device into a corner to the place where it should be to provide the to security, and then you can make remotely made changes that should be done for the special facility. In other case, you can prepare the system at your site, take any protections that you will need and visit the client and make the installation. In the case when you already prepared the whole system, it will take much more time for you to be present at the client's facility. So it is uh, two options that we already think about. And as I said before, we will be very grateful if you will give us feedback on this information through our regional managers, how we can help you to build your business with our system. And maybe after your feedback, we can create additional webinar on which we will make the like a checklist what should be done, how it can be done, and what you should make steps to keep working in this situation, and how to make it useful for and uh, useful for end user and keep the protection of everyone. So we we will be all still working, and the clients will be satisfied with your work and your maintenance. So as I said, we will be very grateful on your feedback on this information. And as I said, it is all information that I would like to share you on this webinar. And now I will go to your questions and we will look through them. And I will, yeah, the last slide. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you on the following webinars. Okay, now I will put me back and we will go to the questions.